Howdy, how's it going? Welcome to my channel, Jessica in Progress. My name's Jessica, and today we are gonna do the mid-year freakout tag. Am I a little late? Yeah, but you know, always running out of time or whatever. That's what Haley Williams says. I was planning on wearing like my Paramore running out of time shirt for this, but it's too hot. So we've got almost everything in frame of the physical books that I have read this year. Originally I had it somewhere else and going in chronological order, but now that it's been a good amount, I kind of just organized them by received on a box, read for book club, and read for personal time. Now those are my physical books. I have also read all of these Raven series on audio book, and then I also read a couple digital books. So at the time of recording, which is July 30th, I have read 37 books this year, which is great for me because I have a 52 goal year, and I think last year I only read 26, so we're doing amazing. My mood is apparently mostly mysterious and adventurous, according to Storygraph. I typically read a medium pace, and my typical page numbers is between 300 and 500. My average star rating has been 3.94, with 6 5-star books, but a 4-star rating is my normal at 9 of my books. On to the questions. I'm looking over here because my laptop is over here and it has all my answers. I have semi-scripted this, which is really just I picked the books in advance, and I'm gonna freeball talking to you about them. So, first question: best book you've read so far this year? Bunny is probably the best book that I read this year. It was my first reading vlog. I'm honestly gonna delete that reading vlog when I get more videos because I am not the proudest of it. It's also the second video that I ever made. Anyway, Bunny, it is about this grad student who is going through writing class, and she is the odd girl. You know, so I related a lot to her being the odd girl and having no friends, and then she wants to get in with the bunnies, which is what the other four girls call themselves in her writing group. So she gets in with them, and it kind of goes Stepford Wivesian brainwashing, and there's a bunch of other twisted, crazy stuff that happens. It's so fun. Honestly, I've already told you too much. It's fun. If you haven't read it, read it. Best sequel that I've read so far. So if we were gonna count rereads, I would totally do Dream Thieves. I think Dream Thieves is the best book of the series, but we're gonna try not to. So I'm gonna say Namesake by Adrienne Young, which is the sequel to Fable. Can I tell you anything about this book? No, I read it in January. I haven't read a lot of sequels, honestly, yet. Honestly, I haven't even read many series. This is a whole shelf. Let me send you down. If I can send you down. We've got ourselves a whole shelf of first in series that I still need to read, and then everything that I've been getting from boxes have been first in serieses. So next year, for the Midnight Free, so next year I'll probably have a better answer for this one. But again, I'm catching up and getting back into it, so I'm trying to see if I even like series. And one of the things that I kind of want to do is like spoiler-filled vlogs reading entire series that everyone has already read because they've been out for so long and or they are completed. Because I like spoiler-filled things, which is why sometimes, I mean, I haven't done it yet, but I have planned and want to do things that include a lot of spoilers, because I finish a book and then I want to go see what other people think about it, but I want like, this one plot point was terrible, this one plot point was great and it blew me away, and I want to like actually hear the nitty-gritty of the book and not just my overall thoughts, stuff and things. Anyway, my best sequel of the year was Namesake. I can't tell you much about it except it was a girl and pirates. And honestly, I get Namesake and Daughter of a Pirate King mixed up all the time because I read them so close together. Bad on me. But I know that I liked Fable and Namesake more. I think I remember Daughter of a Pirate, Daughter of a Siren, because I didn't like it as much, so it became more of like this is how I would change it. This wasn't like bad things stick together in your brain more than okay things. Like, I think I rated them both 4 stars, but I don't remember anything about Fable or Namesake. It's gonna be fun rereading those. Okay, new release that I have not read yet. So I want to read Pageboy by Eliot Page. Haven't read it yet. I wanted to read it in June for Pride. Didn't get to it. Wanted to read it this month. Didn't get to it. I promise that I will get to Pageboy. I will definitely read it this year, for sure. But I will get to it. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I've already pre-ordered this book. I know you're not supposed to do it, but I told my indie bookstore that I wanted it because I wanted to get it at my indie bookstore, and I said that she should buy a couple extra to have in her at there anyway, because their horror section is not that great. And then she also said that we are doing a horror book next year for our book club, and we're starting to take recs for that soon, so yay. Anyway, it is The Haunting on a Hill by Elizabeth Hand. Now, I read The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson earlier this year. I absolutely loved it. The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix is probably one of my favorite series. I mean, Bly Manor, you can't beat Bly Manor. That one was amazing. But I did love that entire series that, what's-his-face did? The Haunting of House on a Hill. A Haunting on the Hill by Elizabeth Hand. I want to read it. The cover looks amazing, and it's the first book that has been legally allowed to go back to Hill House from Shirley Jackson. So I'm excited to see what we do when we return to it. Next book is our biggest disappointment, and I'm going to have to do A Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. So A Song of Achilles is basically a retelling of Achilles up to the Iliad and then through the Iliad, because it actually does finish Achilles' story. If you don't know, it's been out for forever, so I'm gonna spoil it a little bit. And we are telling it through the eyes of Patroclus. Now, the problem is that it kind of was a weak story. Like, she made the boys very weak. There was a lot of bi-erasure. Like, these men had wives, these men had kids, like, let them be bi, you know? And then there's, like, it was a lot of fluff and not really anything valuable, and I think a lot of other choices could have been made. Like, it says something when you're telling a story about Achilles and Patroclus that Odysseus is your best character. I think if I had read this in high school when it first came out, I would have absolutely loved it, but because I'm reading it now, it does not hold up as well as it would have. And honestly, it was kind of a disappointment. Like, I wish that they'd been a little more tough. I wish that we had done something with Patroclus instead of having him be passive in the background, never growing. And, like, I wish we had done something with Achilles, because he was also very passive and then kind of had, like, a turnaround once the Trojan War happened. And I think the pacing was very bad. Like, I was so disappointed in this book. Makes me hesitant to read Circe. Still kind of want to read it though, but honestly, like, I would rather read the Iliad than that. But I must admit that it did also bring back the Achilles is gay angle, which, you know, was in there from the start, because it was a very Greek thing to have male lovers and boy lovers, and it was very much, you know, like, she hinted at the book that it was something that you grew out of, but it wasn't something that was frowned upon. Like, they had, you know, male lovers all the time, and it was erased in the 80s and 90s in the teaching, and probably honestly a little before that too. So bringing it back in was a great thing. I just don't think the book would stand up if it was its own story and not a retelling. Biggest surprise. Not a lot of books are surprising me right now. Like, I don't think there's anything that I've been like, gasp, except for, like, being a little disappointed in it, or being, like, confused about where it's going. So I'm gonna cop out and be All the Feels by Olivia Dade was the biggest surprise for me, because even though it's a companion novel, it's also a sequel. So I didn't think that it would start where it started, because it basically started at the same place as Spoiler Alert did, which is, so we had to like relive that entire thing now only through those characters' eyes. And then also I thought it was a road trip book, and it wasn't. That was the last couple of pages, and it was not as problematic as Spoiler Alert, I'll give you that, but and it was better than Spoiler Alert, like in my opinion. I think it did better at fanfiction illusions and being like a love story to fanfiction, but at the same time it had its problems. Moving on. Favorite new author, debut or new to me? So I haven't really read anyone doubled up yet. TJ Klune I've read a lot of, but I read him last year, so it wouldn't be a this year author. Same with Grady Hendrix. I read him last year, read a new book. But I am looking forward to reading more of Rebecca Ross, Roshani Chatsky, and Adrienne Young. I'm also looking forward to more Mona Awad and more R.F. Kuang. Yeah. The next one is Newest Fictional Crush, and like, I don't get that anymore. And also, a lot of the characters haven't been fully fleshed. Like, some of them have had good fleshing out, but I haven't had any character that stuck out to me and been like, ooh, this person, but also like, I'm not that person anymore. So I'm gonna change it the same way that My Name is Madeline did in her live show thing to Worst Book of the Year, since that's technically not in here yet. And that's gonna have to be Silver in the Bone by Alexandra Bracken. That was such a disappointment. It was so bad. I have a whole nother video going over it, and honestly I didn't even touch on everything, so very disappointment. But like, as in like, the whole thing is trash. So yeah. Newest favorite character, I think I would have to go with Iris Winnow, from Threads That Bind by Kika Hatzopoulou. I still can't say this Greek ass name. I liked how strong she was. I like how she did kind of have a development, and I'm very interested to see her story go through. I also like her dark past. Like, I think she's very well-rounded and developed. I'm sure there are other really good characters in this mix, but Iris Winnow sticks out to me a lot currently. Book that made me cry, Happy Place by Emily Henry. This book had me sobbing for at least 75 pages. Now this is a fake dating. Did I even tell you anything about Threads That Bind? I'm not going back. This is a fake dating thing, going to a beach house with a bunch of your old friends, and it's like, it's more literary contemporary than it is contemporary romance, because it really does focus more on growing up and growing out of things that you used to be, and kind of figuring out your life in your late 20s, early 30s, and moving on and trying to hold on to your friends that are also moving on, and how your life really does change from college to out of college. So yeah. Okay. The most beautiful book that I've acquired this year, honestly, I'm gonna go with She Is a Haunting. I think that it's very pretty. I love the purple. I love the eyes. And then the inside cover, like, this is just one that I picked up at Barnes & Noble. Like, I could pick one that has been book boxed and made pretty, but this is just one that I picked up off a shelf. And I think it's gorgeous. I love the haunted house vibes of it. I love the purple. Naked Book is fine. Like, there's nothing on it. And I love I think it's real pretty. Looking at my other books to make sure that I don't have any other prettier books. As for like books from a box, I'm gonna have to go with Threads That Bind again, because I love the clear cover and how it comes off like that. That's really good. It's a shame that mine came messed up, but Books that I'm going to read before the end of the year. Let me just scoot. We are going to read Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. We are going to read Pageboy by Eliot Page. And we are going to read Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zavine. Why I have not read any of these books yet, can't tell you. This one I specifically put off for the second of the year because I saw a lot of people saying that it was their favorite from the first of the year in the mid-year freakout tags. So I specifically did not also want to be that person, but it will be read later. Yeah, I think that's all the things that I have in reach that I need to read by the end of the year. So, last question is content creators that I've been enjoying. I've loved Unresolved Textual Tension. They kind of pick a book every month. They pick a book, they have a podcast that goes through everything about the book and how they would, what they liked, what they didn't like, how they would fix it. Again, like I said, I love spoilers. I love talking about books, even if I haven't already read the book. I love hearing the thoughts of the full book and everything in the book as opposed to general thoughts. I've also been watching pretty much everything that Kimberly Reads puts out. Love her. And then also everything for Kayla Barber. She's great too. I love that. And then I love watching Stephanie from Stephanie's book verse get messed up every single time on her TBR Star Hop or whatever. So those are the creators that are I've been enjoying. So glad for them. I specifically chose ones that are very low in follower count because I only have 9. So yeah. I'm super proud of myself this year. I'm gonna keep going. Like, this is the books that I've read this month that we'll get a little sneak peek on, not counting any of the digital books that I read, which unfortunately was only one. I'm a little slacking this month, but it is what it is. We're gonna kick off strong in August. And then we're gonna keep on keeping on. So I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Yeah. Anyway, that was my mid-year freakout tag. I feel really proud of myself this year, even if I can't remember all of the books that I read or if they were even all that stand out-ish. Any other shout outs that I think that I need is if you haven't read Firekeeper's Daughter, because I see it right here. If you haven't read Firekeeper's Daughter, I think you should. It's really good. It's a little slow start, but it is a Native American in the Great Lakes region, ? And there is a, hard times, going to college, maybe falling in love, maybe being part of the FBI and a drug bust, fun stuff. And eventually I'll figure out what I'm doing with my shelves because I've been reorganizing them over and over and over again. Anyway, let me know your favorite book, your worst book, your favorite sequel, your biggest disappointment, all of those other things in the comments below. If not, just, leave a book emoji. That's what people say. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. My name's Jessica. My name's Jessica. This has been the Mid-Year Freakout Tag. And remember, we are all in progress.